Getting started with bulletproof bookkeeping is easier than you think. A lot of people might think you'd need to be an auditor in order to do this. You don't. You just need to learn from one. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can build the right foundation in your bookkeeping, even without any education or formal background in accounting. Would you like to make money working from home offering accounting and bookkeeping services but don't have all the skills yet? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly where to get started setting up bulletproof books. I'm going to show you why this doesn't have to be difficult and how you can be up and running in 5 minutes. In the last video, I explained why understanding things at this level will dramatically improve your confidence and how that will lead you to get and keep more clients. It's all about confidence and enthusiasm. If you missed that video, go back and watch it now. It's important. Bulletproof books are about paying attention to detail. And oftentimes that's going to mean slowing down in the beginning and putting in more work up front to save a ton of time later. In this day and age of cloud accounting technology, everything centers around the bank feeds. In the last video, I mentioned that I was able to take my experience as an auditor and turn it into a process for how to put together a set of books that was solid or bulletproof. Many accountants and bookkeepers ask me for a checklist for how to do the monthly bookkeeping work that needs to get done. And I explained to them, you already have it. You see, putting together a set of bulletproof books is just the other side of what an auditor's job it is to verify. As an auditor, my main job was to verify 5 things: accuracy, classification, completeness, cutoff, and occurrence of what's presented in the financial statements. And don't worry, I'm going to explain more about this as I go. The checklist is the balance sheet, and the balance sheet always starts with the bank accounts. So if we put the books together with the thought in mind that an auditor should be able to verify our numbers easily, then this whole process starts to come together very quickly. How do you make sure that a bank account is verifiably accurate? By reconciling the accounts every single month and never plugging the numbers when there's a difference. If there's a difference, you find it, period. And we have the tools today that make this easy. And we can also rely heavily on the machines. We can automate rules that tell QuickBooks Online how to record transactions. This is not only 1,000% more efficient, but it's much less likely that we'll get errors. There are simple rules, like if it's a payment to Staples, book it to office supplies. But now I want to show you how in QuickBooks Online you can take this to the next level. If you take the time to set this up properly in the beginning, then you will not need to spend more than 5 to 15 minutes each week updating your client's bank and credit card accounts. And that's where 85% or more of the accounting flows. Here's an example. My client Jeremy leases a Honda. His lease payment is $695. That payment goes to a lease expense account. Any other time he pays Honda, it's for auto repairs and maintenance. Let's look at how to set up a rule that will flag for the name Honda and for the amount. When it's $695, it goes to the lease. When it's any other amount, it goes to auto repairs and maintenance. So here's what it might look like, assuming we just downloaded the transactions from the bank, and we have these 2 Honda transactions. One's for $249 and one's the lease for $695, right? So we want to create a rule that's going to deal with both of these and not have to sit there and stop and worry about which one was the lease and which one was auto repairs and maintenance. In other words, we want to automate this. So here's how we do it. And to make it even easier, I'm just going to click into the first transaction. And down here, we're going to click right here where it says Create Rule from this transaction. Now watch how this works. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to call this Honda R&M for repairs and maintenance, right? Because that's the $249 example, okay? Now, we're going to change the description to bank text. Long story short, take my word for it, it's just more reliable. And if it contains the word Honda, then that's the trigger, right? And in this case, the amount doesn't equal $695, right? When these conditions are met, then the pay is going to be Honda, right? And we'll just add them in real quick because we haven't added them in yet. And I'll save them. The category is going to be auto expenses. Let's add that in real quick. And auto save and close. Okay, now let's add another one. It's going to be a sub-account of that. Repairs and maintenance. We have that there. Let's do auto repairs and maintenance. Auto R&M. Add that in because the other one was for general repairs and maintenance, right? This is also auto. This time it's a sub-account of auto expenses. Okay, so that's going to take care of that rule. All right, if there's a class, we could tell it to assign a class. and so on. Down here, it's important. This is my opinion, never want to auto-categorize and auto-add. You always want to stop and review things, just to be sure. For example, a year into his lease, they may increase the price for sales taxes or whatever, right? So you always want to at least manually review this stuff. You'll see it'll come into the bank feed in a second. You'll see how it's going to show that the rule was applied. Now we're going to create another rule for when the expense amount is $695 and it's going to Honda. So this time I'll click into this one, and I'll click create a rule from this transaction. Okay, this is going to be Honda lease. Okay, again, we want bank text, never use description. When it contains the word Honda and the amount equals $695, it's an expense, it's Honda, it's going to be the lease. We can do auto lease even, just to make it really clear. We'll add that also as a sub-account of auto expense. And save and close on the account creation part. Again, always auto-categorize but manually review. Now when I hit save, you'll see what happens. Let's widen this column up so it's very clear. The rules have been applied. When it's not $695, it's going to auto repairs and maintenance. When it's $695, it's going to the auto lease. The next time anything is downloaded from the bank that has Honda in the payee, these rules will go into effect. This stuff will get coded, and in 2 seconds, you'll be able to select all and accept selected. And it's warning me because I didn't select classes because I have it programmed to warn me when I don't assign a class, but we're just going to say add it anyway. Okay, and that's it. I created this rule because the bookkeeper kept putting it all to auto repairs and maintenance. She was going too fast and not paying attention and catching the ones that should have gone to the lease expense. Remember the 5 things that an auditor needs to verify? Again, accuracy, classification, completeness, cutoff, and occurrence. In the case of this error, we were off in terms of classification. More importantly, as I mentioned in the previous video, when a client sees a mistake like this, they lose confidence in you and they start to question all of your work, not just that one transaction. Jeremy knows that his lease is $695 a month. If he runs a profit and loss and doesn't see that number there, he knows something's wrong. And since he doesn't know accounting, he doesn't know that it's actually there just recorded somewhere else. For all he knows, you never recorded it, and he wonders what else you've missed. Creating rules like this will eliminate the chances of misclassifying these payments. The bots don't make mistakes, people do. Bigger picture, when you get the bank feed set up and automated, you've taken care of most of what it takes to get bulletproof books. When that client I mentioned in the last video questioned me and my integrity over what turned out to be a $75,000 check he'd written himself, I didn't sweat it because I knew that I'd been 100% accurate in entering everything. I confirmed this each month by reconciling. So even when I showed him that $75,000 and I half thought he might deny it was ever written, I wasn't nervous because I knew that all we had to do was pull the bank statement and it would be there. I had a process that verified it, and worst came to worst, we could always request a copy from the bank. These days I have my bookkeepers download a copy of every check and store it in Google Drive. And we name it with the check date, number, and amount in the name. This makes it ridiculously easy to find if I ever need to prove a check payment that I've booked. That was a bonus tip. Good and thorough bank feeds and rules and good solid documentation. These are the keys to getting bulletproof books. In the next video, I'm going to show you another trick that will make you look like a hero in front of your clients. And not because they understand what you're doing, but because they understand what results look like. For clients, that means getting the job done effectively, efficiently, and with great accuracy. I hope you enjoyed this and had some fun along the way, and I can't wait to show you what I've got for you in the next video.